Before a single ball was kicked in Philadelphia, Paraguay's goalkeeper Orlando Gill delivered a mission statement. He said, quote, "If the ball gets through, the man doesn't." He said this out loud to a journalist, on camera, with no apparent irony whatsoever. That is not a football tactic. That is a threat you write on a napkin before a bar fight. And yet it was Paraguay's entire plan for a World Cup round of 16. Remember, Paraguay had only reached this stage by beating Germany on penalties. They snuck in through the back door, and then immediately started nailing it shut behind them. Reports politely called their style rock-solid defense and other antics. Other antics is doing heavy lifting there. It's the phrase a lawyer uses right before a settlement. So here is the setup. France, the reigning giants, arrive expecting a football match. Paraguay arrives having quietly registered the fixture as a licensed combat sport. And standing at the center of it all is one man France would spend 90 minutes trying to protect. Kylian Mbappé, France's captain, France's talisman, and as it turned out, France's designated human punching bag. The whistle blows, and what follows is one of the strangest 90 minutes in World Cup history. Because France did everything right. They controlled 76% of the ball, they passed, they probed, they pressed, but every attack ran into the same wall of 11 men who had apparently signed up for a wrestling tournament. France generated 1.36 expected goals, Paraguay generated 0.15. Let that number breathe. Paraguay managed one shot on target across the entire match. Their whole attacking output was essentially an accident, so if they weren't attacking, what were they doing? They were, and I want to be precise here, hunting Mbappé. He was fouled, shoved and provoked all afternoon. Every time he got the ball, a small delegation of Paraguayans arrived to discuss it with him physically. And here's the punchline. Across all of that, Paraguay received exactly 0 bookings. 0. The referee, a man named taunted, watched this unfold with the serene calm of someone who genuinely did not know which sport he'd been assigned. ESPN called his performance incredibly poor. It got so heated that both teams charged into a mass scuffle in the first half. 22 grown men in a shoving match, and still somehow, not a single yellow card. Now step back and appreciate the comedy. France, one of the best teams on earth, could not score against a side that wasn't even trying to score. 70 minutes gone, 76% possession. And the score read 0-0. Paraguay's plan was working perfectly, and their plan was barely legal. But here's where the strangest twist arrives. Because France did not break through with a moment of genius. They broke through with technology. In the 70th minute, Paraguay's Gomez slid into Désiré Doué. The referee, true to form, missed it completely. So VAR stepped in. A room full of screens had to intervene essentially to inform the on-field referee that a foul had occurred in the match he was refereeing. Penalty to France, which reframes their entire dominant afternoon rather brutally. They didn't beat 11 men. They beat 11 men with the help of a video referee. Up steps the human punching bag himself. Mbappé, bruised and hunted, plants the ball on the spot for the one action of the day that physics couldn't stop. He leans left. Gill dives left. Mbappé rolls it into the right corner. For the only moment all match, Paraguay's keeper was beaten by football instead of brute force. It was his 19th World Cup goal and his 7th of the tournament, edging Messi in the Golden Boot race. And then Mbappé did something that would matter enormously 90 seconds later. He appeared to taunt Gill. He looked at the goalkeeper he'd just outsmarted and he let him know about it. To his credit, Gill nearly got the last laugh, denying Mbappé twice in stoppage time with 2 genuinely stunning saves. But the score held. 1-0. Full time. Paraguay's mission was over, and they'd achieved exactly nothing on the scoreboard. And this is where the match finally produced its masterpiece. Gill walked over to Mbappé, hand outstretched, offering a handshake. A gesture of sportsmanship. Mbappé walked straight past him. He did not acknowledge the hand. He did not acknowledge the human being attached to it. He just kept celebrating with his teammates. And Orlando Gill, the man who spent 90 minutes preventing football, finally decided to play some. He threw the match ball directly at Mbappé's back, which means Paraguay's single most accurate offensive strike of the entire day arrived after the final whistle. Instantly, players and coaching staff swarmed into a mass confrontation at midfield. The match ended the way it had lived, in a scrum. And Mbappé, he didn't react. The ball hit his back, and he simply carried on celebrating as if a projectile from a defeated goalkeeper was just weather. Gill later insisted he only wanted to congratulate them. If the ball gets through, the man doesn't, he'd said before kickoff. At full time, the man got through, so he threw the ball. Consistency, at least. And Mbappé, gave the perfect eulogy for the whole spectacle. He said, "We know how to play ugly football. Guess they were thinking we were going to show up in tuxedos." So here is what Paraguay achieved. They treated a football match like a cage fight, avoided every booking, held the world's best attack to a single penalty, and still went home. And France? They advanced to face Morocco, having spent 70 minutes proving that 76% possession is worth precisely nothing without a video referee and a spot kick. In the end, both teams got exactly what they came for. Paraguay got their fight, France got their goal, and somewhere in Philadelphia, a perfectly round ball spent 90 minutes wondering why nobody wanted to kick it.